Hi, this is Denise Matthew. I hope you're doing well. I'm back again today to talk about the full moon that's happening on March 7th, 2023. It's hard to believe we're actually in March, but here we are. So the interesting thing about this full moon is that it will be happening in the two head gates, the gate 63 and also the gate 64. So it does come with some level of pressure to figure things out, to get some clarity on where you want to go in the future. We also have the full 2145 channel activated. And because of that, there's this energy of wanting to get ahead, to maybe even manifest things, to start to initiate new things, because it is the energy of a manifestor and it is a manifesting channel. This is usually something in relation to material abundance or trying to make our way through the world in a way where we're feeling supported and, again, abundant. But the key with this energy is that you may not have all the information that you need. And so waiting and maybe not making any drastic shifts to your plan might be a good idea. Uranus in the gate 2 line 3 is reinforcing the idea of staying where you are until you have all basically the information, the clarity, what you need to say, yes, this is the time to move forward in a new direction, or to stay where you are, because even if things are not exactly where you want them, they are slowly moving in that direction, because there is this potential to have impatience about the process and just want to switch into something. And because Mars and Jupiter are making this full manifesting channel, it is going to bring that energy of wanting to jump really quick into something new, which may not exactly be to your best interest. So the key with this is to stay with what you know for now. The energy for clarity will come, because even though the sun in the gate 64 can bring confusion, the sun transits the gate 47 right after it finishes with the gate 64. So we will get that clarity. We will get those downloads being filtered through to get some clarity about what it all means. And ultimately, to have the right direction, the right path, and the right place for you to move into the future is really all that we all want. So with that said, let's get into the full moon. So this full moon is going to be happening at just over 16 degrees Virgo, and it's happening really close to what we consider a critical degree, which means that it might be more impactful, both personally and also globally. The other perspective is, if you want to see where this falls in your astrology chart, you can go to astro.com, get a chart that's free, and you can check out what house these particular themes of this full moon. So it makes for a more personal approach to the full moon and how it's going to potentially interact with you and your chart. The interesting thing about this full moon and also the new moon that's coming up later in March is that we don't have the full spectrum of lines being represented. So in other words, this is more focused energy on particular themes. For this full moon, we have a lot of third and sixth lines being activated, and that talks about experimentation and the adaptation that comes with the third line, where we experiment with the world, and based on the results that we get, we change or adapt the next time around so that we have a better result. We also have more six lines in this energy as well, and that's talking about standing in your truth and just being you. This is about being instead of doing. So these are the energies that are wrapped around this full moon that can bring an overarching theme. In fact, this 6-line theme is only heightened by Saturn in the gate 30 line 6 enforcement. Saturn is finishing up its transit here, and it won't be back again in this placement for another 28 to 29 years. So it is an impactful energy. The key phrase for the gate 30 line 6 is the discipline to maintain right action, which means that it's doing the right thing or right action even if others aren't. And that's a big overarching theme that we really might see. It's about standing in your integrity, but seeing that maybe not everybody else is doing the same. Or what we could say, when people go low, you go high. Basically, it means that despite what life is throwing at you, you're taking the high road. And because the gate 30 is emotional energy by nature, it means that it is more of a passion that you have wrapped around this idea that it's better for you to stand in your truth, to be who you are, and not to fall into the traps of people trying to pull you into their drama. And the gate 30 is also called the clinging fire, which means it's about staying with the dreams that you want for yourself, holding on to that vision and trying to push forward in your life despite what's happening. When we bring in the full 2145 manifesting channel that's activated between Jupiter and Mars, it also brings global willpower into the collective, which makes this idea of wanting to have abundance and to be supported in life being a bigger theme for a lot of us. And though we want to be successful in our lives, both material, spiritually, and in all ways that make us whole, this full moon is really saying that Even if others take shortcuts and bend the rules, that path may not work to your advantage. This energy brings with it a sense that we all need to follow the rules and to be our best despite what's happening. And the rules in this case are, again, staying true to who you are despite what's happening, despite the circumstances that you find in your life. And if you follow the guidance that Saturn is giving you, especially if you have a 6 line in your profile, a 6-2, a 6-3, or a 3-6, then it may be even more impactful for you to align with Saturn's guidance. If we look at the overall body graph for this full moon, it shows that it's bringing us a manifestor type energy. So it only amps up the idea of wanting to start things and maybe even a shift of direction because maybe you're not getting everything you want going this way. But here it's about slow and steady wins the race. And especially if you're not a manifestor type, if you're trying to initiate, it may not work as you want it to. So aligning with who you are is extremely important for this full moon and going forward into the next 2 weeks. Jupiter in the gate 21 line 5 reinforces the need to do the right thing and especially to treat everyone equally. This is a time when if you have a favorite in your workplace or somebody that you're giving special treatment to, it may be a time when you're going to be called out for an unbiased way of treating people. It can even affect your reputation as a leader because if people see that you are giving somebody else more than others because you like them or they are a favorite, then that could really push against us. So treating everybody the same way will work well to your advantage for this full moon. And likewise, if you're not the favorite and you see other people being treated in a special way, it may be a time when you can call out the leadership as well. The Earth and Moon in the gate 64 line 6 says that even if you're confused or not really clear about your life direction right now, you'll soon have an opportunity to gain clarity about the direction you want to take if you have patience with your process. Remember that the gate 47 is always going to follow the transit of the gate 64. So all that confusion, the downloads you might have received when the gate 64 is in play, when the gate 47 is activated by the sun not long after the full moon, will begin to give you the clarity to understand the meaning of all those downloads that you might have gotten. The Earth and Moon are in nostalgia. And this talks about this idea of hanging on to the past and believing that everything was so great back in the day. What happens with this is it can stymie your journey forward if you always think that everything was better in the past, because it's easy to look at the past and say, oh, it was always the best, and what we call rose-colored glasses, where you're selectively remembering the good parts of the past while forgetting or ignoring the problems or issues that we all face during all parts of our life. The truth is nothing is ever as perfect as we think it was. Energetically, this can present in a way where you're trying to recreate the past at all costs, maybe to the point where you let go of opportunities in the here and now so you can return to the good old days. With the confusion or even the fogginess that can be present with the full moon because of the gate 64 in play, it might be easy to jump too quickly in another direction before you gain the full picture. If you do, you might miss out on valuable information about what your previous direction meant for you, because we need the information from every one of our experiences to help us chart our path ahead. So ultimately, it's about balance between staying the course and moving into change, because sometimes we need to change, but other times we need to stay where we are. You know what is best for you. And even if you don't have the clarity, again, it will come soon. It is the best gift you can give yourself to wait to really understand and have the clarity that you want. Venus in the gate 51 line 4 says that the path ahead, both spiritually and materially, may not be exactly as you imagined. So being flexible and open to things playing out differently than you expect in both relationships and work can work to your advantage. Mars in the gate 45 line 6 is in detriment, and it demands that you conform, blend in, and basically be like everyone else. Yet we know that any path that we take in our life only lead to our evolution when we're spreading our wings and allowing our light to shine. The message for this full moon is that even if you can't see the path ahead clearly right now, you will soon. The world is changing and so are you. And when the timing is right, you will know what to do. Trust in you. You probably know more than you think you do. From a global perspective, this is a time when world leaders may be trying to return things to how they used to be because of their distorted view of the past. Another theme is that we might see sudden pivots in direction, or where there's a collective push for a new direction for things like technology, humanitarian efforts, and all things internet-based, including social media. Overall, this full moon is urging us to wait and see, to move when it feels like it's the right time to move because you have the clarity that you need. And if you can do that, then your new direction or the path that you decide to walk will probably lead to the abundance and maybe even the manifestation that you're looking for to happen in your life. Well, that's it for the full moon. I hope you have a wonderful full moon. And until next time, take care, and I will see you again soon.